Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Narrow Path. Today is episode 5, and I'm going to tell you about my life after I move out. It it was a rough time when I moved out. Um, to put it the least, I was not a saint. Anything you think, a sinner, I am a sinner. Let's get the fact. Yes, I'm a sinner. And here, I'm gonna just give you some example what my life is like. It was stressful. I was full of anxieties. I was full of stress. Um, I lost weight without even wanting to lose weight. I started. Food was not majority. I didn't have eating issues. For some people, when they're sad, they gravitate to food. I'm not. I'm not like that. When I'm sad, like food doesn't taste good to me. So I lose all my appetite, but I did make sure that I eat at least one a day, that full meal with my protein, carb, vegetable, and fruit. And that's usually at the end of the day, because during the day I work at assistant living, and I don't pack lunch, and I enjoy spending time with the resident. Excuse me. And they specialize in Alzheimer and dementia. And I feel so blessed because two of my boss and my co-worker, they are absolutely amazing people, and I want to give them the credit that they carry me through those difficult time of my life, my years. When everybody else scatter, they are there. My boss TC and Jody, I thank you them so much. TC, when she wasn't my boss, she always check on me, and she would bring me vitamin to make sure I have, the vitamin to take. And Jody was so understanding, and they're both still my friend to this day, and a lot of my friend Jan as well. And so a lot of my co-worker that I work with are there for reasons, and God really used them to carry me through those difficult times, and I'm so grateful for them. And I know without them I wouldn't have been where I am, but they really did carry me through. And the residents, they don't know it, but they were my life savior as well, especially Miss Linda. And she used to talk to me. I'd take her a little walk, and she talked to me about her life, and just her story, and it's so encouraging. And then after each of those, she would tell me encouragement, and she would talk to me. And she's one of the most amazing lady I have known. And that job, I didn't feel like it was a job. Now I look back, it's one of my favorite thing. My favorite place to be was that place. But life was hard, and it also is my own decision. The consequence, the choice that I make is my own consequence that I dealt with. I make the decision, I dealt with the consequences. That was the part, learning. And I dated a Muslim man. I lived with him. And I had a lady that was a Muslim. She, for all those years, she always she talked to me about converting, and I thank the Lord that I never did, and I had no desire to convert. But the relationship was really, really toxic, and it was not. So if somebody out there don't thinking that I'm racist and all that, I'm begging you, differ, okay? But God used things that really draw thing to my heart. And I even got spit on by a Muslim lady because she didn't think I was worthy of this person. The guy that I'm dating is worthy of him, and honestly, he was not a good man, okay? But she spit on me, and she think that she's like, you're not worthy of him. And you know what? I'm glad that the Lord did that. Now, did I retaliate? No, I did not retaliate. That's not on me. That's on her. So I walk, and God finally gave me the courage to walk away from all that. And one day, even that lady that told me to convert, okay? But she is so ingrained that her cultures, her family, everybody. But one day she looked at me and she said, honey, you gotta get out while you still can. Don't marry him, don't convert, don't have any kid with him, don't take care, you gotta go, okay? And I'm so glad that she said that as well. It didn't make a difference then, but God was already putting me in a path that where I was gonna walk away from that anyway. So one day I was driving and I remember that when after I graduated high school, I wanted to join the military and it didn't work out. And one this afternoon, and it really was God. I felt like he just grabbed my steering wheel, drive to this recruiting building, and that's where I was. I drove. I sat in the car for at least 10 to 20 minutes praying and asking God to give me the courage to walk out there. Now, I was already old. I was 27 or 25, one of those. I was one of the oldest recruiter in my ship, the second oldest. The oldest was 30. She was in her 30, I believe. So I was the second oldest in that recruit. So that lets you know, just in that aspect, I was one of the oldest. I didn't look like it, but I was. And so when I walk, and that was always insecurity with me, with my age and how I look compared to my age. So I walk and I talk to the recruiter, and he got in my, he got me to schedule a test and all that. And I was absolutely blown away by how things was going so smoothly. The recruiter was happy, he was kind, but he actually did not lie to me how military life was like. I told him what I want, and he said, okay, you want the college, you want the living, you want the experience, you will get that. But at the same time, you will have to devote yourself. You have to give a lot of stuff as well. He never promised me for that, the good life of the military, like most recruiter did. He did. But he did understand after a couple weeks that he see how my life was like. He knew that I was better off in the military than continue living where I was. So he worked and he got me into the map, the testing as soon as I can, and open. And I pray about it, and God really did smooth the path for me. I got in the map, I got my fingerprint and all that, and then the military at that time was short of jobs, so they are only sending people to the training when they actually have a job after the training, so they could go train. It's called A school, where they could go to the school to learn about the job that they're going to do. It's like a trade school. And at that time, they didn't have any, but God have other plan. When my turn to come in, I went in and talked to this chief, and he asked me, they interview you, what you want to do. And I told him I would like to work with paperwork, administrative, accounting type of deal. And he said, you know what? I just got a job, just pop up open 30 minutes ago. And he had been interviewing other people before me, but none of them fit the description that job just opened. And when I said that, he had a huge smile. And he's like, I knew I was holding this with somebody. I knew that none of this was right, none of the before. And he said, but you are just the right one would fit for this job. And so I got a job as a PS, personnel specialist with the military. And my job locked in. So when I got the job, they sent me back out to again take my to get my paperwork done so that they can ship it out in a couple weeks for the training. And that's the first miracle that God did in that whole journey. Not the first, more than probably many of the miracle. First, my paper went through so easily, there's not an obstacle. And then he got the job that I need so I could get out and start having the life that he planned for me all along, to the path that he's been putting me. So that was a miracle in it itself. And then they sent me back out again. I ran through the paperwork. redo a whole bunch of paper again so that they can send me for the next couple weeks to my training in Chicago, Illinois. So that was, to me, it's just like everything just gone by so fast, and before I know it, all my paperwork was done. I got it in my little folder. I told my boss I'd be leaving in a week. I took a break from work to prep so I can leave, and all that got done within a month, from starting to the paper to the end of shipping me out. It went so fast, and I thought that now, when I first started, when I got out high school and I wanted to join, nothing worked, and I put it in the back corner because it wasn't the right time. And the second time, because it was the right time, God made it so easy for me that I didn't even have to fight anything fit. Just like what I read this morning in Deuteronomy, Moses was telling Israel, God's people, God will fight your battle for you. All you gotta do is trust Him. The Lord your God will fight your battle for you. And that was exactly what God did for me. He fought the battle for me. He cleared the path for me. And all He needed me was just trust Him. And went in that recruit. I went to that recruiter, and my English was still horrible, by the way. And there was a lot of things that I still didn't understand, especially when it comes to the government and the politics of the state. Oh, that's another story itself. But yes, I'm going to stop that here. In next week, I'm going to tell you my journey from when I left Oregon, Portland, Oregon, to go to Chicago, Illinois. And that's another amazing story itself. So yes, that first step, God plucked me out from my dirty, messy life, full of the consequence that I made it. Nobody else. I. And God saved me from that. And now He's putting me in another completely strange planet that I didn't know how strange, how unfamiliar to me it was. It was going to be, until I landed in Chicago, Illinois in 2011. I will see you guys next week about that. Don't forget, God is fighting your battle for you, just like He fought for me and for His people, the Israel people. Have a wonderful weekend. Thank you for watching this video. See you in the next episode. Bye.